Hey guys, thank you for joining me on my Everyday Living channel. It is your girl Rayette. Welcome. I am coming to you from my bedroom and my fluffy pillow in front of me, respectfully. I don't want to offend anyone. I am fully clothed in my pajamas underneath the pillow, but I'm going to keep her in front of me because, again, I don't want to offend anyone. First and foremost, I want to tell you I turned 46 August 14th, and I want to say I thoroughly enjoyed my birthday weekend. I got to spend it with my family, my friends. I had a birthday gathering on that Saturday, and it was so fun. And man, I just can't tell you how much fun I had. But tonight I wanted to talk to you about journaling. And the reason I want to talk to you about journaling is because it's one of the things that I enjoy doing. It's one of the things that I do often. And it is one of the reasons that I am here making this video and talking to you on it. It has helped me get some things settled. And that's why I highly recommend for people to journal. I give journals to my friends. I give journals to my kids. And I'm very intentional when I give a journal. Not everyone does it. Not everyone is comfortable with doing it for whatever reason. And then there are people who do it every day, all day. And it is what it is, if you do or if you don't. But the reason I'm talking about it is because it has definitely helped me get some things settled with myself and within myself. Now, journaling is not to replace, going to talk to someone professionally or your pastor or anything like that. But I think you'll find if you were to go to someone professionally, they probably would, advise you to journal and, take notes and some inventory of some things that you may be dealing with or have gone through. For me, journaling started years ago. I can't even tell you when because I just remember journaling as far as I can remember. But it has been an eye-opening experience for me because like I said, it helped me get some things settled with I was dealing with. Real quick though, before I get off into that, which I'm not going to take too much time doing, I have several journals I want to show you. Now, I have moved on from these journals. I have two that I currently write in, but I just want to show you just a couple that I have that I've had over the years. This is just a few out of the many that I have. This one was gifted to me. It's one of my favorites. I like this little thing. I like the note that was attached to it that she wrote in here. I like the paper. It just has, I don't know, I just love it. It is definitely one of my favorites. This is a Marilyn Monroe. She's been through the ringer. As you can see, the front cover of it is off. I have another one just like it, although she hasn't been through the ringer like the other one. It's full. And then I've got this one. It says Trust in the Lord. I'm pretty sure I got this at Gifts of Joy. We had a Gifts of Joy here before it went out of business. And what I loved about Gifts of Joy, you can have any and everything engraved. When I got Jada her Bible, I had her name engraved on it. And my Bible has my name engraved on it. Just, I love everything about having your name engraved on things. This journal I got in January. Matter of fact, I was looking at it and I was cracking up laughing because I thought, why would I get this journal? Like, it's nothing about it that makes me say, ooh, I gotta have it. But maybe I was in distress and felt like I needed a new one and I just grabbed it. I don't know. I could even be making that up. But I got it January 9th, 2020. And I wrote on it, go in balance with boldness to birth what you're called to do. So if you follow me on Facebook, you know that I always put that on there, and I, probably explained why in my first video that I uploaded where Go in Balance with Boldness came from. I have a podcast that I do, Everyday Living. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Radio Public, Google Podcasts. It's like 9 of them. So it's Everyday Living. Spotify, it'll pull me right up. But if you're interested, check me out. But anyway, I think I shared with you where that came from. So that's what I wrote on here. It says be the windshield, not the bug. So that's cute. But I don't write in it. I don't even know why I got it. And then I bought this one. I know this one came from Myers because I got, I remember buying my mom one for her birthday. Speaking of my mom, this is totally a sidebar. On my last video when I was walking, I made the comment that she passed away in her 50s. Don't ask me where I got that from, why I pulled 50s out, because she died at the age of 64. I will say this, maybe I have PTSD because I remember when she wasn't 60, my sister had got her a card before she turned 60. She might have been 59, and Irene might have thought she was 60. And she was very clear that she was not 60 yet, and it was a whole thing. So I think I just kept her in her 50s since, she was not feeling the whole 60 when she wasn't yet. So on the one hand, she probably was glad that I said she was 50, but totally inaccurate. She was 64. But going back to the journal, I got her one of those, and she actually did have it filled up. I think my brother took it. I'm not sure, but it made my heart, happy to know that she was writing in it, because again, not everybody, take to journaling. Some people do, some people don't, but again, I was happy to know that she was writing in it. But I do want to share this with you guys out of it. It was March 8th, 2015, and it says, I wrote, change your talk, your mindset, way of thinking, and way of understanding. And then I put, must be willing to complete some stuff to fulfill some things. And the reason I want to share that particular part of my journal with you guys is because I had a real bad thing with starting something and not finishing it. And going to college was one of those things. I would start it and then find a reason to stop going right when I got ready to have to take a math class. I say this all the time. I wasn't a math person, not my ministry. And the minute I knew I was getting ready to take it, I would find a reason to stop going. Not realizing it was leaving me stagnant, and it was costing me more money because, when you get loans to go to college, they're waiting on you to pay back. They're not free. And I didn't recognize that I was doing that to myself. More importantly, when I started journaling and I started tapping into that, I realized a lot of that was fear-based. And not just fear from failing math, it's just fear of failure in general. And that's what I had to unlock, my fear of multiple things, you know what I mean? On the front end, I thought it was just all the math. I don't want to fail at that. But on the back end, it's so many more things that, was saturated in fear. And I credit journaling to helping me unlock some of those things, which is why I am adamant with Jada, my daughter, about journaling and writing things down. And my boys, I've gifted them journals because it's important that you're honest with yourself. If you're not going to be honest with no one else, you definitely need to be honest with yourself, because who can do you better than you? No one. Who can tell you about you better than you? No one. Now, you may have people that may know you, like your mom or your dad or, a significant other, but no one really knows you like you do. How many times we go out into the world and someone says, how are you doing? And you say, I'm great. But on the inside, you know that you're not. And you come home and you deal with whatever issue that you've masked to get through the day. Journaling, in my opinion, helps you get to the point where you can get some things settled and get some things situated. Am I talking to someone professional or your pastor and all that off the table? No. I'm just saying, before you go to those people, you kind of have to have some understanding of who you are, what you're about, what you stand for, what you like, what you don't like. Because you don't need nobody telling you who you are. You can do you better than anyone. I mean, that's how it should be anyways. But journaling can be very liberating, because again, if you're not comfortable with telling someone something, you can be comfortable with telling yourself and God. I'm a firm believer that not everybody needs to know every detail about your life. Because they're not telling you every detail about their life. I get you can go talk to people and all that good stuff, but sometimes they don't need to know everything about you because they're not perfect. They're fighting through some things too. Now, granted, if you're trying to get some help in an area, you do need to be open and, have some full disclosure with some things. But there are certain things that in a journal, you can get some answers to if you're just willing to be honest with yourself. So like I said, when I got down to dealing with why do I keep running from school when it's time for me to take my math class, yes, I got down to the meat and potatoes of the whole math thing, but then I start unlocking other things about what I was fearful about. And those were things that I probably wouldn't have been comfortable with telling someone. But fast forwarding to now, I'm 46 years old, and had I not utilized some of these tools of journaling, I don't think you would see me doing this video. I had to get okay with things that at one point I probably wasn't okay with, and that's okay. I'm not perfect, I'm not trying to be, but I'm just trying to share some things with you that I like, I enjoy, and it has helped me in some way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to tell you what to do because that's not what I'm here for, but I'm just trying to inspire you to do some things that you may not have done, just being fearful. And how I got past being fearful with certain things was writing them down, journaling, talking about things that I probably wouldn't necessarily talk about to someone else. And now that I've, got to the point that I can share some of those things, and I have shared some of those things, I can openly talk about what I was fearful about, where that stems from, and why, and it didn't really take someone else telling me how to get to that. It took me, sometimes I would ask a question in my journal and then come back to it because it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to get every answer to a question overnight. It takes some time, and it takes time getting to know you. And that's where that saying comes from. You got to like and love you before someone else can. And that's true. And once you know everything about yourself that you can know, it's easy to love and like yourself, and it's easy for someone to come into your world and like and love everything about you. I know that sounds corny and cliche, but it's the truth, and it takes time to get to know yourself. And we can nail ourselves to the cross about not being everything we want to be or we should be, but who is? And that's why I say journaling is a good tool to use, because you get to be open and honest with yourself. If you don't want to share anything about your life, what you're going through, what you're dealing with, or whatever at any given time, you can share with yourself in your journal, and no one knows it but you. And then at a later date, when you want to disclose it and talk about it, you can. I journal so much that this is in my purse. I carry this in my purse. If I'm just somewhere sitting, waiting, and something hits me, I'll just jot it down in this, and then just keep it in here. Like, nothing deep and profound is in here because I keep it in my purse. But if I'm in a mood where I just want to write, or I, heard something that was a powerful word or something, I'll put it in there and then just come back home and jot it down in one of my journals and, keep it pushing. Now, I'll say this before I go. The key to good journaling is, to journal in general, is get a good journal. Because like I said, I'm very intentional when I buy a journal. I want it to look a certain way. The paper has to be a certain way. I'm very intentional with my pens that I use. I just had my pen right here. Not saying you got to use this particular pen, but this pen writes really good. I got it as a gift in a gift exchange. But it's right up there with my Sharpie pens. I love those, especially the black and the blue ones. Black number 1, blue number 2. But the way this writes is right up there. And she said she got this off of Amazon, but again, I love how it writes. and getting into a good space. And I usually like to write in my bed. Full disclosure, I'm very rarely in my living room. I'm always in my bedroom. This is my sanctuary. I do pretty much everything in here except for eating. But anyways, I just wanted to take some time to tell you about journaling and why it's important to me. And you know, if you don't journal, you probably should. I mean, it's very for me, it's what's the word I'm looking for, refreshing and therapeutic. I just get to just go all in with my pen and my paper, and you know, just get busy talking about whatever it is I want to talk about in my journal. But I wanted to share that because, like I said, I turned 46 August 14th, and I am able to do this video because, like I said, I got to get some things settled with just writing things down and getting, you know, solid with some things within myself. I'm not perfect, you know, none of us are, but like I said, I'm able to bring this video to you in my bedroom because by journaling and getting to know me on a different level than probably I would have got to know myself, you know, had I not been journaling, has been very, 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 very inspirational and insightful for me. So much so that, again, I'm constantly staying on Jada to journal and write down things because it's so important that you know you better than anyone else. And I'll say this, you guys may have heard this before, because I know I have, but I've told my kids too, the hardest person to be in this world is yourself. And the reason it's hard is because you got to accept yourself, flaws and all. You got to accept yourself, good, bad, and different. And it's easy to try to be and emulate and talk like and use someone else's words and how they would say it. It's easy to be that person. But it's sad because you're not really showing who you are. But the hardest part is being yourself. But once you accept yourself, it's the most liberating, the most beautiful thing there is because it's only one of you. And so why not embrace everything about yourself? And again, I don't want to be on the soapbox all night, but I just wanted to share that with you because, like I said, I'm 46 and I'm proud and I'm happy about it. And journaling has been one of my journeys, and I have embraced it, and I like sharing it and talking about it. So with that being said, you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Be safe. Till next time.